when people were buying like Dogecoin or Dogecoin, whatever you want to call it, they're like, oh, I have 20 million, 20 billion of them. But when you look at the market cap, like the market cap is completely out of control. So
yeah, people that can't do basic math.
Right, people can't do basic math 100%. So I mean, you got to look at the market caps, and there's actually there's a bunch of cool websites out there. Like it's called marketcapof.com, and you can compare, coins you think might want to invest in, and compare them to current coins, all-time highs, and it will give you prices. But you got to look at emissions too. I mean, some coins they're not deflationary like Bitcoin is, so they might be inflationary coins. So, essentially, okay, the market cap might say what it is, but you need constant influx of dollars to keep your portfolio where it's at. But I think AI
isn't really the only advantage of crypto is that it's like deflationary nature, honestly, fundamentally speaking, right?
Deflationary and everything's on chain. I mean, everything is completely traceable, even if you try to, put it in these like Tornado and these mixers and stuff. I mean, you will always be able to trace stolen Bitcoin back to the person that stole it.
I think you like to study Bitcoin and crypto, but I don't think you actually invest in it. I think you just like to have the information about it.
I do a little of both, bro. Like I don't really research as much as I have.
Are you accusing Ola Dewitt of being a window shopper?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. I think this guy reads every article and studies crypto very well, but like I don't think you're actually, putting your money in it.
No, bro, I definitely put my money in it. Not as much as I used to, but yeah, I mean, at this point, like, if you're not a whole coiner, most of the people won't be whole coiners. I mean, I think we're going to hit somewhere like 100, 150K for this next bull run. And I mean, maybe it'll drop down to like 60, 70K again. But I mean, when you look at like,
you're describing that graph we saw earlier.
Yeah, man, the cycles are super predictable. Like, it's been 3 cycles. If you think history rhymes, like, why not take a risk?
Well, you just have to wait for this. So I think my theory on the Bitcoin stuff is that you have to wait for the next generation of suckers to be born. So
100%.
So like basically like people get money from Bitcoin and they get burnt. Yeah. And then they don't want to invest in it anymore. Or they move on to the next thing, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But then you gotta wait for the next like pie in the sky like group of people to be like, all right, yeah, I'm ready to get this bread, etc. For them to like go all in on it, and then to like gas each other up, and then that's when the younger generation
come up too. Because when you look at polls, the younger generation, if you ask them like, hey, do you want to buy crypto, Bitcoin, or you want S&P 500? They're like, man, F the S&P 500. Like, I'm trying to retire now. So I feel like as these generations keep coming up, it's going to trend more and more towards crypto. But yeah, you definitely need a new generation of exit liquidity, that's for sure, for each cycle. But like every 4 years, dude, I mean, it's there.
The chat's asking about they want to know about penny stocks.
What about them?
I don't get involved. I don't mess with penny stocks. If I'm going to lose all my money,
even worse than crypto, honestly.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
I think they're trolling you.
They control all they want, man. The profits speak for themselves, bro.
All right, well,
which you don't have to understand.
Checkmate.
Say Solana, for example, it went down to $8 and it pumped up to like $220 within a couple of years. If you stake that Solana, it's deflationary. You're getting 7% on something that just 20x'd and it's just sitting there. You're doing nothing. So, I mean, but it's a risk. It's a risk you got to take. But people think, oh, your crypto's just sitting there. I mean, a lot of these deflationary cryptos, you can stake them and, get a return on your investment to kind of hedge some of those fluctuations.
I mean, when you stake, don't you like expose yourself though to like catastrophic drops?
Even more.
Certain coins.
If you do the homework, you can make money anyway, but who's doing the homework? Who really knows their shit?
You got to do your homework on how they stake them, because certain coins have a lot of
There's no homework that can be done on this crap, bro.
Yeah,
no,
there is homework. The homework is we have
you think there's people who get 100x returns, they don't do their homework? If there's no homework involved, we would all be crypto billionaires.
Yeah.
People spend their entire lives studying this shit.
But like if you
studying crypto, I mean, this stuff is so random that like, how can you say that you can do your homework? Like, let's say for example, okay, let me paint a scenario.
Bro, you don't know anything about crypto. That's just a fact. You're even saying that.
Okay, yeah,
you just don't know anything about it. So you need to do some homework.
Keep believing that. Anyway, so let's say you stake like some random X altcoin, okay? Yeah. And then it's the greatest altcoin of all time, okay? Then for whatever reason, some Bitcoin exchange gets hacked and then it fucking crashes like 50% and takes all the altcoins with it.
Well, that's good.
Like, what homework do you. How do you hedge against that? It's just like it's
I can answer that.
Alpha, you're
So let me-
presenting
like,
a
I let it be
hypothetical that's
altcoins.
never happened again. That's never happened. You know.
No,
never
well,
happened. Are you on crack that
explain.
fucking exchange crashes and then takes out the market?
Of course it's happened. Hang on, via a Bitcoin hack.
Let me respond to this, man. First and foremost, once you get more than like $1,000 in crypto net worth, you don't store anything on chain. You store it all in cold storage. You get a ledger or a Trezor or a paper wallet. Nobody can touch it. Like the only
you're
way.
misunderstanding my question. You're misunderstanding.
Okay, so you're saying
I understand. Yeah, you put it in cold storage once you've accumulated enough money, right? Like, yeah, you're not gonna keep $30,000 on an exchange,
right? But you're saying like
unless you're rich.
$1,000 bucks, $30K. That ain't shit. You don't need to put that in cold storage.
Okay, probably
Absolutely.
not to you, but to us mere mortals, yeah, you should probably do that. I don't know. So what I'm saying is, like, let's say that if you have altcoin X and it's like the greatest product ever, it like fucking I don't know, like it sucks your dick, okay? And then you can stake it too, right? Now it's staked, like you're making some income off of it. It's an altcoin. Some Bitcoin exchange, or let's say Bitcoin, it's not even focused on the exchange, so that doesn't confuse anybody. Let's say Bitcoin tanks like fucking 50% in like a week, and then you already know that when Bitcoin tanks, altcoins fucking catastrophically crash.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like they crash at a rate that's even faster than Bitcoin. So like, what do you do then? Like you can't predict that. Like it had nothing to do with your product, which is this altcoin X that sucks your dick for you. But another product was able to affect it, like the big daddy Bitcoin was able to crash and take everything down with it. Like how do you hedge for that? Like there's just so many moving pieces in the crypto market versus like stock X or industry X. You know what I mean? Like if like I don't know, if like fucking what's the name of that bicycle company that's also a tech company? Peloton. If Peloton crashes, it doesn't mean it takes down like fucking Nvidia with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but if Nvidia crashes, it's going to take down the whole S&P 500. And like in your example, Nvidia is Bitcoin. So like that big or FANG, Nvidia, whatever you want to say, when those go down, the whole market goes down. So it's actually very similar.
Yeah, and it will stabilize. You're talking about the current financial market is like, we're talking about a very efficient market, right? Like huge market cap, a lot of players, very well regulated, versus crypto, which is an extremely inefficient market, which is why the wins and losses are so large. So how do you hedge against that? One, you don't put all your money into it. Two, you can set price alerts. You can set bots to sell for you. I mean, you can short it just like you can stocks. I mean, so there's ways to hedge against it. But if you're like,
you can do that, but like remember though, like somebody has to be on the receiving end of that order. Like what if nobody wants to buy at whatever you're offering? You know what I'm saying? Like you put the sell order, but nobody wants to buy it.
Then that means you're going to do your job and look
crashing.
at the liquidity. Like you can see the liquidity. You can see the exact liquidity down to like the penny for a lot of these coins. I mean, like I said, it's all on chain. So if you buy a coin and you're like up $200 million and there's only $50,000 in liquidity, you're screwed. So
okay,
I mean, you
got AZ's little Nvidia crashing, taking down S&P. If Nvidia crashes, there's going to be a very good reason for why Nvidia crashes. If Bitcoin crashes, like nobody fucking knows why it crashed a lot of the time.
But doesn't it follow the stock market trend too? Doesn't it follow the stock market trend? Most of the time when the stocks drop, Bitcoin will drop. It's never like the opposite. It always follows the market when it's all said and done.
Not every time.
No, not really.
Kind of decoupled, like, and I think that it'll get more common.
I mean, look at the gains. Like, what's the S&P or Nasdaq versus Bitcoin gains in the past 6 months?
Like, if you were just to lay it out on paper, why would you not invest in Bitcoin? There's 21 million of them. It's deflationary on a schedule that everybody knows.
I mean, Bitcoin's gone up 86% in the past 6 months versus like versus the Nasdaq, which is probably like fucking 12. Right.
Right. I mean, over the past 5 years, it's the best investment that you could have made.
Entire. You're pointing out Bitcoin versus the entire S&P.